Hey students, welcome to our video on how to make tessellations. So this is an art project that I typically do the last week of school. I really enjoy this one because the kids that have the artistic abilities that I don't always have get to really show their strengths here. So in order to do this, we need some supplies. You need to have a blank sheet of paper, so a white piece of paper is great. You need a smaller piece of paper. It does not need to be colorful, but mine is just so that you can see the difference between this and this. You need a pair of scissors, a roll of tape, a pencil, a darker marker or a darker pen than pencil, and then optional are some color crayons. And I apologize if you hear noise in the background. That is my dog, and he is itchy, so he's chewing on his leg. All right, so first thing we need to know is what is a tessellation. So tessellations are shapes that repeat themselves infinitely, so they can go on forever. For instance, a square, you could draw a square and then a square next to it and then a square next to it and squares all around it, and they would go on forever. So we are making shapes that can repeat themselves forever and kind of fit into each other like puzzle pieces. So the first thing you need to do is make a square with your small piece of paper. So it would be really helpful if I had a ruler, but I do not have a ruler because I'm not at school and for some reason I don't own a ruler. So what I'm going to do is, by the way, this is an index card, which is great because it's a little harder than regular paper. And we're going to be using this as a stencil, which is having a more firm piece of paper is going to be better. So I'm going to cut the end off like this. And the reason for that is now this is going to become my ruler. So since this is the same length as this, if I move it right here, I can now see where the end would be to make a perfect square, because we want it to be a perfect square. So mark it off. Okay. And then we'll cut. Okay, so here's my square. It ended up not being exactly perfect, but that's okay. So the first step is basically you just need to make a square, not a rectangle, but a square. The next thing you're going to do is we are going to cut into two of the sides. So they have to be sides that touch each other. So like these two sides, or these two sides, or these two sides, or these two sides. So I'm going to do this side and this side, and I'm just going to draw a line that I could cut out that connects from this side back to itself. So not connecting it from here to here, but connecting it here back to itself. So something like that. Okay, I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm going to make some sort of shape. So maybe I'll do a little M and then connect it back to itself. Okay, once you've done that, you are going to cut these parts out. And then save the parts that you cut out. Okay, so my shape looks kind of like this now. Then what I'm going to do is take the piece that I cut out. So this piece was sitting right here. I'm going to take it and move it to its opposite side and tape. So I moved it to the opposite side and I'm going to tape it to that side. So take a little piece of tape. Tape. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this piece. So it was sitting right here. I'm now going to move it to its opposite side, which is up here. Tape. Okay, so this is my stencil. So typically at this point I like to try to figure out what it kind of looks like. If I turn it like this, it almost looks like an elephant. So I think I'm going to make it an elephant. So then what you're going to do is start tracing. So taking your pencil, because if you make any mistakes, you want to make sure you use pencil. You're going to trace your stencil. Ooh. Okay, so I traced my stencil, and now what you're going to see is that I can make this shape fit into itself again in another spot. So right here, you'll see that it fits. Also, right here, you'll see that it fits. And we're going to keep tracing, and there's going to be a whole bunch of shapes all over the page. So pretend that I'm tracing that part, and pretend I have a face here and a face down here because it fits right here. Remember, it repeats infinitely, so the whole page will be covered with this little shape. Once you finish doing that, you can outline your shapes with Sharpie or a dark marker or a dark pen, and then finally color it in with colored crayons or pencils or anything like that. Once you finish it, I would love it if you could send me a picture. This is always my favorite part of the last week of school, is making these, because kids come up with really creative shapes. Mine always ends up looking like an elephant or a stingray, but other kids will get like mountain ranges and fish, things like that. So please send it to me when you finish it, and I will give you extra credit. And if it's okay with you, I will post it on Google Classroom. If you don't want me to post it, I won't. But go ahead and take a look at my finished product so that you can kind of see what it should look like. Anyway, have a great day, guys. I hope you have an awesome summer, and I look forward to seeing you guys next year. Bye.